A big announcement from the guy who is, his job is to check the mayor.
Sure.
And now he wants to be mayor. We're talking about City Comptroller Brad Lander. He announced he is throwing his hat in the ring in the race for New York City mayor.
Yeah, he has not been shy in the past about criticizing Mayor Adams, and he sat down with our Carlo, who is here with us in studio to talk about more about why he thinks he should be the next mayor.
Absolutely. I like how you put that, Charlene. His job is to check the mayor.
Well,
right?
Sam said it, and then I just
No,
was
I think he said it first in the commercial break. So
I don't know who I
anyway,
stole it from.
We know that's
But it's
his
what he
job,
does.
and so it's what he's doing.
It is true, and that's what he stands by, that he's doing his job. He's the mayor's biggest critic and now arguably his strongest challenger. New York City Comptroller Brad Lander earned Mayor Adams' unaffectionate reference as the loudest person in New York City. Lander announcing that he will be running for mayor and telling me his job's inherent purpose is not to be loud, but to speak up so that the city can be better managed. So you have been one of the biggest, of course, critics of Mayor Adams during his time as mayor. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of his specific leadership decisions that you feel have failed the most, and what you would do differently as far as what you'd prioritize in your campaign?
Sure. Just a couple of days ago, I was at the dentist, and the dental assistant told me a story about how she's got a 3-year-old. She's got to come to work every day. She heard that the city had promised childcare for every 3-year-old, but she's 140th on the wait list. The management of our 3K and pre-K system has been botched by this city hall.
Now you're going to be in the driver's seat with a failing city. Why take that on?
Well, the city is not failing. Its leadership is failing.
The 55-year-old progressive Democrat from Brooklyn in his new campaign video says the city can replace a leader when they fail the basic tests of the job. Lander's pledging to improve transportation, housing, wages, and citing high child care costs and budget cuts to libraries as examples of Adams' failures. Lander has in the past zeroed in on Adams' handling of the migrant crisis, which prompted the mayor to mock him last year. Take a listen.
Face it. Think about that for a moment. The loudest, I think Eric should. The loudest person in the city has yet to go to Washington, D.C.
Certainly no love lost there. The members of the same party, adversarial to say the least. Adams is, of course, a moderate Democrat, while Lander is a progressive who, during his time in the city council, focused largely on police reform. As a progressive in this race, there are certain challenges, right, that you will deal with when trying to appeal to voters. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you feel you can gain voters' trust when it comes to managing public safety?
Yeah. Look, quality of life and public safety are progressive values. They're what people want from their government. One of the big issues right now is the mental health crisis, the rise in street homelessness of severely mentally ill people. What Mayor Adams has done is have an uncoordinated system that kind of sweeps people from place to place, hospital to jail to street corner to other street corner.
How specifically do you plan on ending street homelessness?
So we've done several audits that look at the money we're already spending. There's a program called the Intensive Mobile Treatment Program that we're spending tens of millions of dollars on to focus exactly on this set of folks. But we found the program totally uncoordinated. Department of Correction doesn't tell caseworkers when people are coming out of detention, or the hospitals don't tell people either. So if we do a better job of coordinating that system, have a real continuum of care that includes the housing vouchers we're already spending money on, we can genuinely help people into stable housing where their mental health conditions can be managed more effectively and keep them out of the subways and off the streets, and keep our neighborhoods safer at the same time.
So he talked a lot about that crisis. Lander joins a strong field of challengers for next June's primary, including former city comptroller Scott Stringer, who held the position before Lander, and State Senator Zelnor Myrie from Brooklyn. By the way, Mayor Adams is running on a message that he has brought crime down and helped the city recover jobs lost during the pandemic.
They're legitimate conversations. He has some legitimate criticisms, and maybe in this campaign, if they're heard, we can get them taken care of one way or the other.
We'll see.
The substance.
We get a double dose of you, Anthony, so we'll see you back here at 10:30. You're staying on the politics
Yeah, why not?
Train.
All right.
There's a lot going on in the park.
Okay.
It's
I'll see you
definitely
guys
So we'll
then.
see you again very soon.
All right.